Hi, good morning. I'm going to give it a few moments to see if anyone's going to join me live this morning. Hi, Kathy. Lovely to see you. Okay, so how are you? How are you really? I was asked that yesterday through exactly this medium by somebody who I do a lot of work with in a group. And she looked into the camera and she said, "How are you? How are you coping? What's going on? Hi, Bradley. How are you?" And I burst into tears. And I'm not telling you that for sympathy or anything. I'm sharing it because it's made me realise that that's what we need at the moment. We need to be listened to. We need to be able to share where we are. Every one of us is in a different place, and many of us are in similar places. There is so much. We were dealing with something that was totally different from anything we've ever lived through. And that was a week ago, 10 days ago. And then there's been another huge shift, which may be huge in your experience. It may have had a massive impact on your parameters, on your way of thinking, or it may not. And if it hasn't, that in itself may bring up feelings. Whether you are focused on the practicalities of what life looks like as we move, in some cases against our will, and in some cases with alacrity, out of lockdown. With, obviously, let's face it, no idea whether this is going to be a steady, continuous move back to, forward to some kind of normality, or whether we're going to be told in 2 weeks, 2 months' time, hang on a moment, back behind closed doors. Whether your world has been turned upside down by the events of the Black Lives Matter movement becoming mainstream, whether that's barely touched on the realities of your lived life, and that's as it is, if that's the case. Whatever's going on for you, where are you? What do you need? So as part of my process of working out what I need and where I am, the way I show up is going to be changing. As I suspect everybody who's, hi Leslie, I've just seen you're with us, how lovely. Everybody who is watching may know, but I've set up a group, a Facebook group called Making Space, and that is designed for two things. One is to give me a platform to show up. I'm debating the word platform for a moment there. To share with you some of the practices that help me make space in my mind, in my body, and in time to help me share with other people different practices and experiences that they have around that. But it's also a space for us to come together as a group to share what it is that we need, what's going on for us, in a private space that is outside the hustle and bustle of the main Facebook platform. Any comments shared in the group will be private within the group. I have found over the last few years that Facebook groups have been an incredible space for me to do work on myself, to meet people with a similar outlook in many ways, in a positive sense, and to meet people with totally different experiences and learn from those. And I would love this group in time to become somewhere where people feel that that's their experience. But who knows? For the time being, it's going to be somewhere where I share the practices that work for me, the teachings and the learnings that I've experienced, and hopefully open a discussion with those. And right now, it's a place where I invite anyone who's joined to share what they're feeling at the moment, what they're going through, what their experience is of this time, positive, less positive, confusing. So, what we're here for right now, though, is some sitting silently together. So, it's lovely to see several of you on with me live today. Thank you for being here. And I invite you, as always, to take this time to simply be. However you're sitting, make whatever adjustments you need to come to a place where you can really feel your feet connecting to the ground, whether that's the soles of your feet, the sides of your feet, the tops of your feet if you're kneeling. You might even want to adjust your sitting bones, move your hips a little so that you can really feel the base of your spine resting down towards the ground, your sitting bones connecting. And maybe find that sense of connection. So as your feet connect to the ground, your sitting bones engage a little bit more. And there's space for your spine to shift, to move. Muppet has decided it's time for her to shift and move. Making space between each vertebra, letting the shoulders relax and soften, letting your hands rest wherever is comfortable for you, on your knees or thighs, in your lap. And if you haven't already, let your eyes gently close or soften your gaze and let it rest downwards. And bring your awareness to your breath. Gently watching your breath as it comes and goes through your body. Maybe feeling the passage of the breath through your nostrils, noticing the temperature of the breath as it comes in through your nostrils. Noticing the temperature as the breath gently exhales out through your nostrils. And bringing your awareness every now and again back to your feet, reconnecting a little with your feet. Letting the sound effects from Muppet trying to find her perfect resting place at the moment just pass you by. Sticking with that awareness of your breath in your body. And breathing. Giving every breath the space and the time that it needs. And maybe, if it feels helpful to you, bringing your awareness as you breathe to creating an equality between the length of the inhalation and the exhalation. That doesn't mean necessarily that every inhalation and every exhalation has to be the same length, but more that each round of breath is equally divided between the inhale and the exhale. So when you notice that your body takes a little bit longer on an inhalation, the in-breath becomes a little deeper, simply allow the exhalation to match that length, more or less. And when the inhalation is a little shorter, a little shallower, let the exhalation take the same sort of amount of time. And every now and again, bring your awareness back to your body, to your feet, to that connection between your feet and the ground, between the base of the spine or your sitting bones and the ground. And notice whether perhaps your spine had slumped a little, your shoulders had rounded, had softened, or indeed had tightened and tensed. And by reconnecting to the ground, give your spine permission to make space. And notice if those subtle adjustments make any difference to the way your breath moves. And whether they make it possible, easier maybe for a moment or two, to pause in the space between thoughts. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you for joining me today and previously. I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to be here Friday in the same way. Next week is going to look different. So I'll be clarifying that soon. And right now, I'm going to sign off here and I'm going to go straight over into the group. So anyone who's already a member who would like to jump across there, the link is in the comment above. I'm just going to have a little quick chat with everybody in there. And if you're not already a member of the group, please click on the link and request to join. And I will see you all soon. Take care. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.